Welcome back to Midnight Customs, folks. So it's been a minute since we did a video for the Flux Core series. No big deal. We're going to get right into it. So you've got you a Flux Core welder and you got it set up and you've been practicing on some scrap pieces. Okay, so we got the first basic items checked off the list. If you are brand new to the channel and the series, go ahead and check out the videos previous leading up to this one, and we'll catch you up to speed. So with that being said, we are actually going to work on a project today. Now, I don't have a specific use for this currently, but I will. Regardless of that, this is going to be something that you can do at home, and it involves several different types of welds, and it's very simple. All you need is, let's see if we can get this thing turned around here. All right, so all you need is some square tubing. Now we got the tubing cut at 45 degrees. And so basically we got it mitered at 45 degrees. You can do this with one of these. You can do that with one of those. Or if you look way over there in the distance, right there is a bandsaw. You can do it with that also. So we got this fixtured up. This is just a Harbor Freight fixture table. They're super cheap and they come with these. You can buy more of these. They're a little pricey. Not from Harbor Freight. They don't actually sell this style, or you can make your own. So what we're going to do is, I've already got this clamp down and we're going to show you the different welds and what their names are, and I'll go through that as we're going. But we're going to make sure it's square. We got a bit of a gap right here. No big deal. And if you don't have these clamps or a fixture table, don't go run out and buy one. I just happen to have this. You can also, we'll take you over here. You can also use these magnets. You just need 4 of those and you put them in the corners. And actually I'll grab a couple and show you. If I can do this without knocking the sign over. The missus loves having that sign up there, which it's a beautiful sign. Okay. So if you don't have a fixture table, what you can do is take this, put it in the corner just like that. Like I said, you would need 4 of these. That's going to hold your corners together if you don't have one of these setups. So, nice thing about a fixture table is they allow you to actually clamp it down and keep it from moving. Because I'm going to tell you, before we get into it, when you start welding on this, it is going to want to lift up, because as you're welding, it's going to shrink and expand. So this helps you keep your piece flat. So once you're all welded up and you sit it on the table, it's not doing one of these numbers because it's off. So there is a sequence on which corners you weld, and we'll touch on that just a little bit. All right, so we'll go over a couple of the different welds that we got going on here today. So there's a few different ones depending on how you build your frame, and we'll show you what those are real quick. So right here, this is going to be called a corner weld, and this has the least amount of material that you're going to have available to weld to. So you're going to want to turn your settings down at least one thickness of the material less than what you're actually welding. This is 1/8 inch wall square tube. So we would turn it down to one material thickness setting less. This is going to be your butt weld. And you would just, because you got your joints butted up together. And then down in here, that is going to be a fillet weld, and you always want to weld the fillet weld last, because that weld is the one that's going to pull on the material the most and can warp you and get you out of square and flatness and so on. Now, the other one too that I want to go over, it's called a groove weld. Now, if you can see here, this isn't a sharp corner. It's got a radius to it. So if you take and put your corners together, you're going to have a gap there. Sorry about the crappy camera work there. And this would be called a groove weld, and you would be filling that groove in with weld. Now, the thing about this is, if you do your corner like this, you've also got a groove weld, but you've also got an open end. Whereas this, where they're 45'd, you're going to have a completely enclosed end all the way around. The point is, though, if you do it this way, here's one way to practice a groove weld. This is a type of weld, and that will give you some good practice. And then you've got your butt weld, your corner weld, and the inside one here is going to be your fillet weld. So we'll get the welder set up, and we'll start going over this, and we'll show you some different sequences and things that help keep your material from warping.
We burned the hole there. Went too slow. Weld was too hot. So we're going to turn it down. Also, the most important thing is when you're actually going to put your weld down, you want to be comfortable. I'm working in limited space currently because we have a big project going on, and it's just a lot to move. Anyway, here we go. So we're going to go right here. We go right here. There. Get this ground down real quick and I'll show you what we got going on. Alright, so we got a majority filled in. As you can see, we missed a spot because it was covered with the flux. And just like that, all welded up, nice and smooth.
All right, so we got our butt welds done. Now we're going to move on over to our corners. What I'm going to do, excuse me, is find a thick chunk here, and actually this practice piece will do. So what we're going to do,
Never find that again. So now we've turned our settings down from 90 to 85, and we'll give one corner a shot and we'll see how that goes. Now, you want to be comfortable. Comfort is key. Now that's too hot, so we're going to turn it down 5 amps. We're going to try this at 80. Works really good. Also, the reason I have this propped up is so I can finish the weld all the way down without welding my table. So we got our corner welds welded. We got our butt welds done on both sides. Corners are done. So what we have left to do now is a fillet weld. And now that all the outside has been done, all your external welds, we can go ahead and start doing our fillets. We're going to alternate corners. We're going to alternate corners. All right, folks, fellow YouTubers and beginners, we now have our frame welded up. We'll give these welds a minute or two to cool, and then we'll wire wheel those. I'm not going to get in there with the zip disc. Now, I didn't grind down any of this extra mill scale, so you had a good contrast to see what we're looking at here and what we're doing. There's a few of these butt welds where I kind of dug into it with the grinding wheel, and that's all right. Get some light on the situation here, and that's not the prettiest one. These are your fillets. All right, folks, here it is. Your first welding project, or maybe it isn't. Maybe you just wanted to know how to make one of these. So here's a how-to video. This series is Flux core welding for beginners by beginners. I really hope you enjoyed this episode of this, and go out there, have fun, be safe. Two biggest things: have fun and be safe. And if you mess it up, like you've seen in the video, it's easy to fix. It's just metal. There's no reason to stress out or freak out, what have you. Just have a good time. If you blow a hole in one of these welds, you can fix it. Just take your time, fill in the hole. I'll show you how to do it in there, and grind it smooth. So I had a lot of fun making this video. I had a lot of fun building one of these square frame, and I hope you guys get out there and get to arcing and sparking and have a good time and enjoy this. And I'm going to leave a link to this down in the description. Fantastic machine. It's like $160. Runs a 2-pound spool, and it'll do 030, 035, and 045 flux core wire. So have fun, and we'll see you next time. Oh, quick side note real quick. I do have another video coming out on the flux core series. We're going to build another frame to hold a cooler. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be a real trick. It goes on with another project that I got going on that you'll also see footage on. So we appreciate you. I'm Brandon. This is Midnight Custom C20. Hit that like and subscribe button. Drop me a comment. Let me know what you think. Later.